They were doing mixtape placements. Did all this shit like.
You have to pay to get on the track and all.
But I originally, I wanted like I'd built up say like a decent amount of tracks, and I wanted that one track that I was gonna launch with because I was like I need something kind of big to kind of set it off, you know, like and so the game was like he was my favorite rapper when I was growing up, like, you know what I mean? So like so I was born in 91. The game came out in 2005.
2005, 2004.
So I'm 14. I'm running around school. You know what I mean? I'm running around school listening to fucking. You know what I mean? Like how we do. You know what I mean? And then you know what I mean? I was a big 50 Cent fan. G-Unit.
Yeah.
Like that was. I grew up on that. Yeah. Like era hip hop, and he was my favorite. And the first two albums, Documentary and Doctor's Advocate, were just like unbelievable. And I was walking around going, fuck, this is my favourite rapper. Went to all the gigs back in the day, like the Olympia.
Did you see him in the right venue that time?
Yeah.
You were at that?
Yeah, I was at
the right venue?
He played twice.
I remember that. That was such a weird, like, in the right venue. I remember
I saw that.
I'll tell you what I don't like. I actually prefer him with the DJ.
He played with a band?
He played with a band, yeah.
He played with a band?
Oh.
Yeah, like there's just some things you can't capture with the live band, but they keep to keep the price high.
Yeah.
Keep the price high because there's things you can't capture. Like say Higher, you know Higher on the documentary. You can't capture that live.
No, yeah.
How do you?
You know what I mean? It's like it's just it's energy in the beat that you just can't capture with a.
There's been a few live shows I've been to like that where you're just like, I just wish they played the instrumental.
Yeah.
Wasn't Isaiah like that for you?
Isaiah, what song was it? You know they call me Bar Surprise in my brain.
Oh, Headshots.
Bro, didn't hit the same with live band.
Doesn't.
Yeah.
No, never does.
Which was kind of sad because that song is just like.
It hits.
But like hip hop is like okay. So you go back and take it even further back. It was the DJ was the main guy.
It was
about
the
hip hop.
DJ.
You know what I mean? The MC kind of came after.
Yeah, you're right.
It was the DJ that was break. You know, break on the break beats, and cutting up and putting it together. It was, you know.
Grandmaster Flash was one of the...
Yeah, like the pioneer.
Rick, man, I think it's weird. Rick Rubin's like a sound engineer, but he's also like a fucking Buddhist monk.
He started a record label and all with
the fucking Beastie Boys on it, right?
That's who, yeah. But as far as I know, he doesn't have a lot of like
musical ability,
audio skills.
Apparently he does a YouTube video where like I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a lot of audio ability.
Yeah.
But if you bring people together that do, you know what I mean? If you have the talent of bringing people together
and envisioning
it and knowing what you want and then go, you know what, you have a certain skill set, 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 and then it's keeping those people together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like because everyone like, you know, we can leave here and you might get on with him or you know what I mean? But it's like when it's making it work and keeping those creative differences.
Now that being said, like we were just talking about this earlier. What about DJ Khaled? Like
he orks me.
I know.
He orks me so bad.
Personality aside, though. Put the personality aside.
I'm not gonna lie. There's no DJ Khaled song that my life would be any worse without.
The J Cole one.
Which one?
That's a good one.
What's that one that he has on the J Cole?
What one is it?
Which one does?
It's the Spillage Village one.
Jermaine's interlude.
Yeah, Jermaine's interlude. That's class.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I don't mind him as long as he sticks to hip hop. I don't want to hear Justin Bieber and.
What was the one with Quavo and all?
I don't know. But I just don't want to hear. I don't want to hear Justin Bieber.
It's just him as a person, boys. I don't know. He just annoys me.
Yeah, as a person.
But if you take aside the personality side of it, like bringing Jay-Z and Nas on for that song.
You know.
That was actually alright, yeah.
Okay, the person, everything's for Instagram.
Yeah.
Everything's for Instagram with this guy, like, but he is very positive in one way. He is very positive. Like, he is very positive and
God, dude.
Yeah, like I don't mind it too much. I don't mind it too much personally. I just don't want to hear. I don't want to hear.
Justin Bieber.
I'm the one.
I don't want to hear I hate that shit like where, you know, like rappers and stuff like get to a certain level and then they go, I need a Chris Brown.
Justin Bieber.
I need a Justin Bieber. I need a. Do you know what I mean? Because they want to get. They're looking like money. They're looking for money. Like we just go back to the game, right? Like so, like the game and like Chris Brown. I don't mind the tracks, like, but you know what I mean? He's doing like the game. Chris Brown.
Do you like Paul Gold?
I do, but
That's alright. That's alright.
What I want to hear is the game and Ice Cube, the game and Dog Pound, the game and
Kendrick.
the game. You know what I mean? The game. I want to hear the game MCA, the game. You know what I mean? I want the game to go back and go. I want to make a West Coast classic.
Yeah.
Like he's not like what's stopping him?
No, I hear
He
you.
has the money.
Yeah.
He already has the reach and the following.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to hear the game. You might be like you might go say I don't want to hear the game of 21 Savage or I don't really.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he's like he's from an era where I want to hear that. Maybe okay, I'm just stuck in my ways.
No, I hear you.
I'm stuck in my ways where I want to hear that. You know what I mean? That kind of boom bap.
Well,
Yeah.
Dr. Dre.
It's the thing, you want
shit.
sometimes you want your rapper to do certain things. Like I'm going to let's say I'm gonna listen to Meek Mill, right? I'm not looking for Meek Mill and his singing feature. I'm looking for that. What's
You're
the?
looking for Dreams and Nightmares.
I'm looking for Dreams and Nightmares with Meek Mill. You know.
Yeah.
So
Meek Mill, I've never dived into it, but he can rap. He can rap. He
He
can
can
rap.
spit,
Yeah,
man.
he can rap. I've never dived in. Like it wouldn't be my cup of tea, but I do actually like. You know, there's artists like that where I know I'm not gonna probably ever jump into like
Bro,
being
Well,
my
you
thing,
respect
it.
but it's like that guy can spit. That guy can when he hops on something, there's like he has potential to kill a track. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like not my sound, but
Gav,
I respect it.
question for you, bro. What is your cup of tea, man? Let people know,
Okay,
man.
okay, my cup of tea is 90s boom bap.
90s boom bap.
Boom bap.
Nice.
Like there's still guys that are doing it
Yeah.
or that are evolving it
Yeah.
that are still like a good example, Master Ace. I don't know if
Master
it
Ace.
is the Master Ace.
Yeah.
Master Ace is very consistent.
Man, what was the album he put out in 2004? Is that the one on the
Um,
cover? He's like sitting on the chair.
There's
Bro, you know-
Disposable Arts. I actually have that.
Do you know that track Brooklyn Masala off
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I actually got
The tune, boys.
when I had him over. I had him over with Lord Finesse, right? We done a Master Ace Lord Finesse gig, and
Lord Finesse played here.
yeah, he played here twice.
Nice.
Yeah, there was someone. I think Mark Murphy might have had him in the Shore Club, but I think
Mark
Mark
Murphy?
I think he had him years and years ago.
Sounds
I
familiar.
think he had him years. Maybe it was the Shore Club, but I think he had him years ago. And then we only got him to do a DJ set, which I kind of regretted because I would have preferred the live set. But Lord Finesse, when he sorry Master Ace, he had right this. Like I just spotted it like fucking. I was like a little shark there because like the boys had the Disposable Arts, and they had like two that were meant to go over to these guys like in like Paris, and I spotted it and I knew what it was. It was a like super rare edition, and I was like,
That album.
yeah, I was like fuck me. I was like, can I have one of them? You know what I mean? And I got it signed and on Master Ace, and I was like, this is this is really hard to get.
Yeah.
Like you're like I'm looking at like it's like 200-300 quid, like you know what I mean, just to get that vinyl, and like I got it off the merch guy for like you know what I mean, the same price you pay in a record store.
Yeah.
I saw it, I was like a little shark, you know what I mean, but like I'm not like that, like I don't want to do on gigs, I don't really get much that like signed, like I'm always going to like fucking going, fuck, I should have got that done.
Talking
So I
about
was
getting
I was
something signed, right? One of the gigs you put on back in the day. So yeah, another thing, boys.
Yeah,
right?
can we,
Just-
like-
yeah. Bro, let's intro you properly, right? So
For sure.
for me, getting to know your own stuff, right? I think it was, do you know the main event, the producer? Do you know him?
Main event, yeah, Gavin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it was him. He shared Represent the Real, and I was like, what's this, boys? I seen KRS one, I seen AZ, I seen OC. I was like, boys, this sounds fucking nice. Seen there was some scratches, and I was like, man, this is Whopper. And then I saw fucking the Lane and Opium in the bleeding video, man.
Yeah,
I was like, man, I was like,
yeah.
what the fuck's going on here? And then I was like, I looked into it, and it was like Stylistic Murder, and I was like, man, I feel like I've heard this name before, but something, it wasn't really clicking right, so I gave you a follow. We were chatting, and then you were telling me that you would put on a few shows back in the day.
So like I'll start right. I'll start from the very beginning, right. I'll
Take it
start,
back, man.
I'm gonna take it back
Yeah.
pretty far, right. So
Okay.
we'll say 2013, right.
Yeah.
Maybe okay. So 2010 2013, right. So I start working like make my own like beats. Alright, so I was
You
like
produce?
a little bit,
Right,
not so
right.
much, like these days, like but. And the next track's actually one of my ones, like.
Stop. Nice, man.
But
She was Logic?
no, like so like would have been Reason back in the day.
Reason!
Chat!
Bit of FL as well.
Yeah.
But Reason,
Um,
man, yeah.
But basically, right from that period,
GameCube.
I would have been
People
like
still use it.
learning hip hop, as in learning. I was still what age? I was about 21 maybe.
Yeah.
So I was kind of getting into all the old school stuff, and then what really kind of kicked it off, what really kind of got my interest, right, was this guy, he's a Japanese producer.
New Japes?
Yes.
I think it's new.
New Jabez.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Jabaz as well.
Yeah. So this guy.
No way, bro.
So basically, right, what happened was, right.
Japanese Dylan, man.
So
Isn't he dead as well?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
died,
he's-
right, and a whole wave of like American hip hop artists start releasing music in Japan, right?
Mm.
And there was these two record labels. One was called Goon Tracks, and then there was Digicrates. Yeah, Digicrates. So when I'm listening to all these guys, and I'm like fucking going, who are all these guys? And I'm trying to find them on Facebook. You know what I mean? Going, who are all these guys? You know what I mean? I'm checking out the sound, and then, so like that would have, it would have opened up to a lot of artists like the 49ers, Husk Kingpin, a guy called Naive. There was fucking loads of them. You know what I mean? There's loads of them, and I was listening to them all. It would have been a lot of Bandcamp. They would have been a lot of Bandcamp and stuff like that. So, I'd be buying their albums on Bandcamp, downloading onto or iTunes, or you know what I mean, putting it on my iTunes, putting it on my iPad or iPod, and you know what I mean. It was a great period, and basically what happened was, the very very start. So this more, how did it come about? Like basically, a friend of mine. So I was kind of getting into the music, and I'd done a track with the 49ers. First ever track, and then I started working with these guys from Sacramento.
I'm sorry, can I just ask,
Yeah.
when you say you done a track with them, did you produce a beat for them?
Yeah.
Cool,
So I was
cool.
working with the 49ers, done a couple of tracks, and then I've done a few with Architect, which was one of the members of the 49ers. Then I was working with these guys from Sacramento.
Yeah.
So there was like Cam, Naeem, Madman Leak, Harris Rudman. Mainly Cam. We were working on an album called Cypher, right? And Cypher basically got shelved. And Cam he started working with these other guys, it's like Naeem and Madman Leak and Harris and stuff. And kind of what happened was, one of my friends came up to me and was like, I want to run a gig in a local GAA club. And we were like, right? We were like, he's like, what are we going to name it? We were like, I was like, yeah, I'll do it with you.
Was this like a hip hop gig or what?
No, we're gonna just do fucking dance, hip hop. We're just gonna like
Bit
just,
of
you
Avicii
know what I mean?
and
I
all.
don't know what we're gonna do, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
right? The gig never materialized. You never done it, right? And it never happened, right? Never happened. And we were like, what are we gonna call it? And he just turned around one day and went, Stylistic Murder. And he was just kept going, rolled off his tongue, and then he said something else. And then he said something else. And I went home and was like, fucking Stylistic Murder. You know what I mean? I was like,
Stuck,
fucking, I was
yeah.
like, I like that. And a couple nights later, I started talking to this guy, A. Jun, who was signed to Gun Tracks in Japan. And A. Jun was launching Link 6 in Korea, where he's from.
Yeah.
And he wanted to kind of replicate what they were doing in Japan in Korea.
In Korea.
And I sent him over the track I had with the 49ers. And a day or two later, he drops his fucking contract and it's my, you know what I mean, it's my mail or whatever, and he goes, check your inbox, whatever, and he offered me a distribution deal, right?
Fuck,
So he offered a distribution, and so this was, I'd say, 2013, 2014.
Sorry, can I ask a question on
Yeah.
that? Was this for an album or was it a
So
single,
this was just 3 years, just 3 years contract on whatever I could put out, right?
Okay.
In terms of what I actually, we'll get to kind of then how this started materialising, but in terms of what I actually put out, I put out an EP in January 2015. Don't check it out. No, look, it's don't check it out. It's actually good, but it's
You
not.
feel like you're at a different
No,
level now, right?
it's not what it's not a representation of what I wanted to do, and that's why I actually kept it away from Ireland.
Cool.
Did
I
you
kept it- I mean,
rap on it at all, or just
no.
produced?
So what it is, I got the guys, the 49ers track, the 49ers. I got them to do one or two other tracks, and I used a couple of songs that I was working on with the guys over in America, Cam and stuff like that. I made the first one, but I started getting like a couple of singles. Then I actually had a single on Sony Music Korea, out there. He got me a
Shit.
placement
Jesus. man.
over there in Korea with
What-
Sony and stuff.
What's that single called?
It was called fuck man. It was a guy Manifest and Lyrics, and it was called The Message.
The Message.
I think it's only on SoundCloud now. Like I think that it might be on
Stashed.
like because they had like Korea were ahead of the game, right? Korea had a site called Melon, and Melon had streaming and downloads.
Wait, when was this?
This was years and years ago. Like so this is 2015. So it actually had streaming. So iTunes never broke Korea. Because they had Melon, they already had it. They already had their own,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, stuff.
That's
So
mad,
iTunes was, you know, it came and you know it had an impact and stuff, but it never actually broke Korea to the extent that it broke other countries.
Yeah.
And so in the lead, okay, so I was working on that project, but actually what kind of happened in the lead up to that was basically I started talking. Well, I saw this gig go up, right? I saw this gig go up in Dublin, and I was like, right, I want to get a support act on this gig, right? So the gig was Mobb Deep, right? So I
What
saw
year was this now?
this is 2014, right? So actually shout out to Paul and
Wait,
Andrew.
was that in the Voodoo Lounge?
Yeah.
Bro, I was fucking
Right,
there, man.
so it was actually
I was
Paul
at
and-
that point.
Paul and Andrew, right?
Boys, this is
Everywhere.
what is going on right now.
I was at that with Ian Fagan, man.
Right,
yeah.
so shout out to Paul and Andrew because
Yeah.
they gave me a foot in the game, big time. I don't really keep with the lads now, but they gave me a big foot in the game.
So was
and
that
I
your
learned a lot.
introduction to...
This is my introduction to events, right?
Wow, cool.
So what actually ended up happening was, so I was working with a couple of local lads, Powley and Doyle, and they made a set, and we actually called it under Stylistic Murder, just like Stylistic Murder, and they made a set. They done about 20 minutes, but we also ended up doing a lot of production on the night. So Doyle had a lighting rig. He owned his own lighting company, you know what I mean, where he doing like for festivals and shit like that.
Okay.
Wow.
So we ended up bringing in like microphones. We brought in like lights, shit like that. You know what I mean? Like I think we might have even brought in like like mixing desks and
Yeah.
decks and stuff like that. So we end up selling a lot of tickets. Like I think we sold like 52 tickets just from the hand.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like so we were handing the promoter going, here's about $1,000, and here's all your lights and your you know what I mean. So they called us back after that for the next show. The next show was Exhibit.
Exhibit!
sorry,
No way!
Exhibit. Be Real from Cypress Hill.
Be real.
What?
And Demrick. I don't know if it's, Demrick's was they were called the Serial Killers. They just dropped this album. And
This was the same venue, right?
yeah,
Or-
same venue, right? So we done the same thing again. We went in, done the, like you know, sold the tickets, done the support act, and then we pretty much you know like done the production side of things. Then they asked us to do it again, but it was in the Tivoli Theatre and it was the Outlaws 2-Packs group.
What?
So, man, I had the best.
This is mad, man.
I had the best session with them ever. Probably one of the best nights of my life, lads.
Yeah?
Oh, fuck
Wait,
me.
you went
like,
there with the
yeah,
Outlaws?
yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah. We're in the river.
Just
We're in the
about
river.
2-Pack?
Man, I swear to God, right?
Well,
No!
you
I swear
see
to God,
Outlaws.
right, man.
You have to.
I swear to God,
I
right?
wanna hear this voice.
Fucking Hussein Fatal was an absolute legend. Like he's an absolute gentleman, right? And man, fuck me, like he. So I'm standing there, yeah, like we're drinking all night and we're having a great crack, and so basically, I'm standing downstairs in the River Bar, and Hussein Fatal's there to my
The
to my left,
River Bar,
right?
bro?
Yeah.
Fuck,
And
this is mad.
and what fucking comes on? Hit him up.
In the River Bar?
In the River Bar, right? And Hussein Fatal started beside me, and like I'll never forget it because I could see in his eyes, like you know, I
He
actually
missed
see,
his
I could see something in his eyes.
Yeah.
I'll never ever forget that. And he actually died a couple months later.
Jeez.
I could never forget it. I'll never ever forget it because I could see, because I was like, fucking locked. You know, going, man, you
Yeah.
did. You know what I mean? I was like, you did this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is you. You know what I mean? I was like, and
One of
he's
the most
like, you know,
iconic
and he's
tracks
kind of
ever.
going, yeah, but, and then I kind of looked at him and was like, fuck, you know what I mean? I was like, that's a mad moment. And I was started going, this is a mad moment not only for him, maybe for him, but I was like, this is a mad moment for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
man.
I was like, this is like,
Bro, did you ask him about it? 'Cause, like,
not
because-
really.
Yeah, because it's such
That's
a
a sensitive thing to ask.
It
yeah,
is,
not really. The guys are very nice.
such a hard track, man.
But it was really interesting, and I'll never forget. Like we actually we pulled over a taxi now at the end of the night for him, and he threw up a fucking West Side as he was as he was leaving. You know, he threw out the window, threw up the West Side. We were like what a legend, like you know. And then we kind of like kept in touch a little bit on Facebook and stuff,
Yeah.
He actually, I'll never forget. It was actually the night of Conor McGregor fight, I think.
Which one?
I'm not sure, but he died, and I'll never forget. I was going back to a friend's gaff, and one of the lads texted me on something happened to it was NFL tonight, and I was like, I checked out. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, because he was only like June or July, and he'd only been here in like April.
Right.
And I was like, so it was like fresh. You know what I mean? It's fresh, and I was thinking to myself, going, fuck, I just saw that like hit him up. That moment,
Yeah,
I was like, and then you know what I mean. I was like, it was kind of a crazy experience.
Wow, man. Yeah.
And he was a really nice guy, and we actually it's a lot of guys like you don't actually click with when they come over
For sure.
because it's just a business thing.
It's business.
You know what I mean? It's a business thing. They come over, they appreciate that you're doing the gig, but then it's like they're there to get paid. They're there to move on the next one, and if you get them back, cool. But like we actually went out and had a fucking session. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was in KFC, lads were buying me fucking KFC now. We were taking pictures like fucking KFC. Like this fucking. It was great. Like
Can I ask you a question on this, right? Because there's a big thing for me, man, that I've always heard, right? Because obviously back in the day now, boys, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I fully believe Tupac is in Cuba, yeah. And there was this whole thing, right? And there was like the 27-day theory and all, boys. I was hooked into it. But man, one thing I need to ask. Don't even touch on that now. That's obviously sensitive information, boys. I mean, we get taken off this website. But what I was gonna bring up was
Our podcast on a website.
yeah, fair. You should. But one question I want to ask, man, right? They say that they smoked Tupac's ashes in a blunt.
I don't know.
Did you never hear this? No.
That is the thing. That is the thing.
Really? Yeah,
Apparently
that's the
that's the thing.
They were
Apparently
like
they
they were like
smoked.
Tupac. He got cremated, right?
Yeah.
And they were like his best friends put some of his ashes into a blunt and like passed it around, smoked it, and I was like, wow.
They probably did.
It is a thing. I didn't ask. I didn't ask many questions. I didn't ask.
That'd be a weird question to
Yeah.
ask as well. I feel like.
Okay,
it is a
fair.
thing.
Yeah.
But is that a thing
I-
that's done?
I've always believed that was it. I always believed that's true. I've always like took that was
Yeah.
true. But I've always took it's true.
Not fair. I just wanted to ask because I was always curious. As
But
I would say it's true, man.
That's mad.
but basically, right. So we done the Outlaws. Now we actually got. We kind of decided after that. This was 2015. So I would have done the EP in Korea. And
Did you
so
go to Korea?
No.
Right.
We would have done the EP in Korea, and then we decided that we needed to go out by ourselves and start doing gigs. And my first choice, like I always had said since I was like 18 or whatever, if I ever bring over anyone, it's DJ Premier.
Bro, hanger.
Yeah.
Man, I was
Right, so-
at that, boys. That was, man, we need to talk about that, man. That was a fucking lethal gig, bro.
I'll tell you that it didn't look like we were gonna get it. So what happened was right. I was looking. I was like emailing back and forth different agencies and all this shit, and we put in. I think we put in an offer, and then we didn't get any luck with it, and then we noticed then that Paris hadn't announced. So we saw that they had like when you're dealing with the agencies, they give you the list.
Yeah.
Where they go, we have London, we've Paris, we've Berlin on this date, and we're trying to fill in dates. And I noticed that Paris hadn't went up, and I was like, this was getting like it was 4 weeks to the gig. I was like, Paris hasn't been announced, and like we were like, fuck it, like let's go in and see if Paris is happening, and we didn't really know who to contact. Like we've been dealing with different agents, but I started looking on. I looked at Facebook events, and I found the show he was doing in North Macedonia. It was, I think he was doing it with a guy called DJ Shorty P. I don't want to mess up his name. I think he was doing a DJ Shorty P. I think his name is, and he put me on to Fat Philly, who's been like my mentor since that day, right? And
Wow.
he put me on to Fat Philly, and I booked Primo through Philly. We only had 3 weeks promo on it, and it just fucking flew. It just fucking flew. We own it like nice and cheap, and the guys like I would have been picking the act. Like the guys were kind of going like, "Is this definitely gonna work?" And I was like, "If this doesn't work, I'm never doing another one." It's like CJ Premier. It's like if this doesn't work, what else is gonna work? It's like you know what I mean. I was like, he's produced so much stuff.
Yeah.
It's like and like we're like at the time even though I'd been involved in a couple of shows, I was technically going in blind
Yeah.
because I didn't know enough
Fuck,
about. You know what I mean? I didn't know enough
On
about
3
it.
weeks notice.
And in 3 weeks' notice, we done
Jesus,
it.
man.
Fucking the night was a massive success.
Man, can we talk about the gig a little bit? Can I
Yeah,
bring
yeah,
up
yeah,
something?
yeah.
There was a moment in this gig, boys, right? Never seen anything like this. So Premier, he done the whole thing on vinyl, right? He had like all of his records here, and you're just thinking the amount of classics this chap's produced, right? He done this thing was actually it was so sick. It was one of those things, you know, when you see it, it's like, oh, right. He had a sample playing off here, right? And it was like this real slow kind of. He was playing it, like the crowd was kind of, what the fuck is this? Like he was playing it, he let it play, and it was just like, and whatever, right? Then he puts another vinyl here, and he just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 Crack Commandments, boys. He played the original sample on this vinyl and mixed it into the actual, and the crowd lost it, man. I was like, this is insane.
Oh,
Man,
I'd love to hear
you
that.
know what he done as well? Man, he played Machine Gun Funk. He played Kick in the Door, man.
Yeah.
Thing was, man, it was hopping. And he played Voice to 5-9, man. He played all the good ones.
Yeah, he
man.
did.
was
My only
sick.
regret is that we didn't get enough video footage. There is actually video footage on YouTube, but we didn't get enough. That was my only regret.
Yeah.
Walking out of that show.
What was your first time, man?
Yeah, it was my and like it was my only regret. Premier himself, like tops to work with. Really
Bro,
nice.
what's he like?
We were mainly dealing with like his manager Ian.
Yeah.
They're all really sound.
Nice.
Like really sound. Like I'd get him over again in a heartbeat.
What year was it when you came over?
That's 2000 and that was November 2015. Yeah.
Ron, it was in Hangar, bro.
Yeah.
Hangar's now a
Hangar.
fucking hotel.
Yeah.
They got bulldoze, man.
Bulldoze, yeah.
And DJ Premier.
Yeah, this was when they actually. This was when Hangar was all one room as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like they actually
yeah.
they put a split in it where like they
Pablo Disco Bar on that side.
they split it after afterwards
Yeah.
where it, like so I probably had like 600 and then they had 300 this side and then 300 at the bar kind of thing. But when it was actually one big room, it was fucking deadly for hip hop.
Sick,
It was deadly for hip hop.
Now, I have a quick question for you there. Just like, I'm learning a lot. It's actually pretty dope. So you're working a lot on these events. You're bringing over like hip hop, almost hip hop legends, but also like the essence of hip hop, boom bap hip hop, right? But in Ireland, is there an audience for that? How big is the audience? How does it?
Great question, man.
Because like for me, like when I listen to boom bap, I'm listening at home and I'm loving it. But it's not something that I can share. I don't feel like I'm sharing it with others.
I honestly think it's a sleeping giant.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's a sleeping giant. I think there's definitely a crowd for it. It just needs a good kick in the hole to get it. You know what I mean? To get it.
Promotion, yeah.
It needs a good kick in the hole to really get it going. And I think, like I think, part of that could be. Like Nas and Wu-Tang are like in like 2 weeks or something.
That's in the tree.
But like that, bringing the artists together, and then doing it on a smaller scale, like, you know, like for example, imagine how good DJ Premier and KRS-One gig together would be.
Yeah.
And then if you know what I mean, like fill it out. Like I always wanted to kind of go that route with it down the line. Go, let's do a festival, but an indoor festival. You know what I mean? Like an indoor thing where we have like a whole like Irish lineup, and then let's get like a couple of the old
Few
school legends
Yeah.
to like, because it's a sleeping giant. They're there. Like if Premier's selling out and
Bro,
KRS-One's selling out, and it's like you put them together, it's like, you know, it's just gonna get bigger. But I do think it's a sleeping giant.
Bro, it's especially because right when you go to the gig, so the ones that I went to, I was at that Mob Deep gig, that was Whopper. I was at the Premier one, that was Whopper. KRS-One.
So KRS actually, so it's actually funny enough that probably shouldn't say this, but we actually had the Coke and Nostra. Remember the Coke and Nostra? It was like the House of Pain joined up with Ill Bill and Slain. It was like this group group. We actually had this like group kind of booked in, and then fucking like I'm in my mates like Doyle who was doing the gigs with me, and Philly rings me, and we've been trying to get KRS for months, and basically he wouldn't do it, and then Philly rings me out of nowhere, like probably the best phone call of my life. KRS-One wants to come to Dublin. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, what? Like, I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, and he tried to come here 3 times, I believe 3 times, and it was a thing that like, was like KRS One's never gonna play. So like, apparently he was actually on stage at the Button Factory and someone like threw. I don't think he was paid. I don't think he was paid properly that night, and someone threw a glass or something like that.
Jesus.
And something like that, and he just left. I don't know whether it was on the stage, I don't know if it was outside, but something happened and he left.
Jesus.
There was a lot of kind of shit going back in the day with like, you know, and then, but there was a lot like I think there was 3 cancellations. So like when I actually got it, and then like funny enough, one of my friends was in the crowd, and he always says to me to this day that there was people in the crowd saying, I guarantee he's not going to turn up. And he was like, he is. He's going to, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like, you know what I mean? My mate was like, he is going to turn up. You know what I mean? My mate's run this.
Yeah.
And like,
bro,
when he was on, you know what I mean? When he got on stage and then like, I think there's probably only 2 other achievements in terms of hip hop that I think I've probably matched that I've done. One of them's probably Represent the Real, and getting the vinyl and Represent the Real, getting the video. You know what I mean?
No respect for it, yeah.
And the other one would be so down the line we had a bit of a break. We done the Master Day stuff Finesse just after the KRS. Then we had a little bit of a break. We brought over DJ Newmark.
Oh, from Jurassic 5.
From Jurassic 5.
Yeah.
And then the next kind of big one, like there was a kind of massive break, and then the next big one was 2018 where we done Hobson.
Hobson?
Wow. Yeah.
Oh,
Hobson played here?
Yeah, Hobson, yeah. It was the first time I ever played.
What was that like, man?
Fucking, like that was, like, okay, like, I'm not, like, as I said, I'm 90s boom bap.
Yeah.
I've been watching Hobson for so long that I knew he had such a strong fan base, and I was like,
does he have fans in Dublin?
I was like, fuck. I was like, there's something here.
Yeah.
I was like, there's something here, and I was watching it, and that, I think the KRS, the premiere KRS, Hobson, and this were kind of, I've kind of been my, you know, my biggest kind of things and such, but we done Hobson in 2018, and like, it was fucking nuts. They were actually like probably the easiest probably to deal with in terms of like KRS is very easy, but like as in like he was so down to earth.
Cool.
Like, you know, you're just so easy going, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, where do you want to eat? He was just happy to go to McDonald's and shit, like, just you know, one of the lads, like, you know what I mean? He's just one of the lads. And they actually brought in their own screen, right? So they brought in a big screen, like, just probably the size of that wall, like, and they projected onto it. And so they had like it like a TV, and they were you know what I mean. So it was like the screen was like it was a TV projected onto it, and then there was stuff projected onto the TV, and it was just savage, like, like, it was just fucking savage, at a time where it kind of came at a time that I really needed it.
Cool.
Like, I was at a point where in my life that I really needed it. I really needed something big, and everything just kind of started clicking for me. Nice. There was a couple of like it wasn't just like that wasn't just a win. There was a couple of little wins in the lead up, and then it was like boom, like, you know what I mean. It was like boom, we're back, and then we followed that up. That was August 2018. We followed it up with Tech 9. Then in January.
Tech 9.
Done Tech 9 in January, and then we followed it up again with KRS again. So that would have been January 2019. Then we done KRS again, and then things kind of start going down.
COVID.
Then things start going down, right? So where it started going down is we actually booked Dave East, right, for the Voodoo Lounge.
Bro, was this the gig that you won and all, was that?
Yeah.
Bro, I've seen so much footage of this gig, man,
we booked Dave East, and it just, we kind of split from the Voodoo at that time, and what happened basically was we booked them, and we kind of started the promo, and we kind of wanted something a certain way, and then, you know, things weren't, you know, like, there was just a bit of back and forth, and we kind of stepped away, and then the gig went ahead, and then COVID after, so the gig went ahead kind of without us. We kind of had plans. We had plans to bring over Das Effects after. So it was like kind of like our we kind of had a plan to go. We wanted to keep the run going because we were kind of on a run going. Hobson, so we started, you know, DJ Newmark, Hobson, Tech Nine, KRS, Davies. You know what I mean? We were getting on a run, and then COVID, and then basically, I kind of realized during that period that, like, doing the shows is really like it's fucking great, right? It's great, but and you know, the first week, the week or two leading up to it is amazing. The week after it's amazing. The second and third week's depressing as fuck. Because
Why?
it's just depressing as fuck. Because you know you get a big high, so
Yeah.
you're doing it, and then you're like, what's next? And you're not moving, and you're like, you know, you see your social media, maybe get a couple of followers, and you're like, you're going, you know, and you have footage and you have, you know, photos, and then you're like,
Dust.
now I'm stagnant.
Yeah.
Until the next one, you know, I'm like, now I'm not moving. At the next one, you're going, you know, how am I gonna fund the next one? Like, who's gonna be involved? What venue am I gonna do it? And who's gonna be? And you know, it just, you know what I mean. And then on top of that, COVID, so lockdowns. So
That was a fucking
lockdowns,
shit time
and I
for us,
realized then at that period where I was like, I need something that I'm growing every single day. And that's when I started. That's when I went, let's take it all the way back to the music that I originally wanted to do. It was always my dream from when I was 18. I always said, I'm gonna put out an album, a full length album, just with all old school hip hop legends. That was my dream. That was my number one. I was like, that's what I'm gonna do since I was 18, and everything else was just the stepping stones to get there. You get what I mean? Like, it was getting it was getting the network. It was getting the likes of, you know, being able to, you know, being introduced to Fat Philly, who can set things up for me. Being introduced to the likes of KRS.
Who is Fat Philly, just for...
So Fat Philly has been in the game probably 25, 30 years. He's like promoter, booking agent. He runs Fresh Island Festival, which is like a big festival over in Croatia. He's had fucking everyone over there, from like Snoop Dogg, like A$AP Rocky. I think he had Rick Ross, Nas. He had Nas over. He's had Method Man, Redman. He's actually, if you look up the Big L interviews in Croatia, he's over in Croatia.
Fat Philly's in these interviews.
He actually did the interviews. He done the interviews. So what happened was, Fat Philly's, I think it was his first ever show, he booked OC and Big L come over with him. It was 1997, and Big L, I think, had just dropped, and he done like these interviews in Croatia that are like pretty big and stuff on YouTube. Like, these are kind of well known interviews, you know what I mean? And like, Philly's been in the game 30 years. Like, he just has so many, like, you know what I mean, so many contacts that it's just like he's so well connected that, like, I know that I go to him, and it's not even like there's other people I could go to. Like, I go direct some of these times, but like, man, that safety net of knowing that guy has my back in it. You know, I'm walking into a deal and I know I have Philly behind me. Like, I know the deal's gonna get done. I know, you know what I mean. It's just like, I trust him, and he's been 100%. Like, he's been like he's done like the premiere booking. He done the KRS booking. He done I think he done the DJ Newmark booking. We booked J. Rue and Black Alicious for Townlands Festival through Philly for the festival. But that was like on the side, you know what I mean. We booked for the festival. So like we have a good history, and then Philly also got me. Well, he got me the connection with KRS-One. He got me the AZ verse, and he got me the OC verse.
That's fucking
for Represent the Real, and he got me the video. You know what I mean? The video parts. So like he was the guy in between that was.
Okay.
Can I ask you about that? About that video, because right when you watch the video, it's like there's one part in Dublin, and KRS-One has a part, OC has a part.
Yeah, man, that was
So-
a nightmare. It was a nightmare to fucking.
No,
it was
because
a
I'm
nightmare to
thinking
put together.
logistically, man. Like, did you have to hire different people in each place?
Okay, so I'll come on to that, right? I'll come on to that in a second, right? So,
Cool.
so kind of COVID, right, hit, and as part of the deal to do the KRS-One second time, basically, right, so as COVID hit, right, I got a verse off KRS-One, right, and then I was sitting on that, and then I was looking like I'm like a lot of the music I listen to is not on Spotify yet. Yes, it's coming. It's coming down the line. Like, because Philly actually does this. He does this. Like he does all these deals like with all the old school guys and HHV. They do all like pressing the vinyls, and I think some of the stuff went up on like some of the old stuff has went up on Spotify. Some of the old album stuff. Like he does these 90s tapes where they repress. Like in Germany, they repress like all the old school shit. Nice. So, but a lot of stuff I listen to would be underground 90s stuff, right? And this was probably 2020, and there was two channels. There was Cycle Realm 9, right? And it was like I was saying it was Rap Vid something, right? Right.
Vintage Hip Hop Seattle.
Okay, this is another one, right? Yeah. But there was so basically, I saw Cycle Realm 9 go for sale. I had 85,000 subs, and I went, fuck that, I'm buying that. Because I was like, I'm buying that. I was like, it's 85,000 subs. I was like, I'm buying that because even if
what's this exact? Is this
it's a YouTube channel.
It's a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, like I'm buying that because it's 85,000 old school hip hop fans that are into the same shit I'm into, and then I let that. So I bought that. Like I got in touch with the guy. He's actually from Santiago, Chile. Yeah.
How did you see that was for sale?
He had it on the what's it? You know the little
comment section
on YouTube. Yeah, you know these comments that you know the what's it community.
Right.
He had on the community.
Shit, yeah.
He had on the community saying it was for sale, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm buying that." Got in touch with him. You know, we had like an email there. I got in touch with him. I actually added him on Facebook. We kind of went back and forth because I was like, you know, you're just so it's a random guy, and you know, it's a random guy. I was like, you know, he's actually very nice, Ruben. His knowledge on hip hop, fuck me, like this guy is unbelievable. Like he wasn't only knowledgeable on hip hop that I was finding music on his channel. He actually had the old he had the old fucking whatever they are like VHS or whatever, and he was digitalizing these videos to put them on the YouTube channel. Like you know what I mean? So like this guy was unbelievable, and funny enough, the two channels that I was kind of listening to, there is that like hip hop style. There is a couple, but there was two channels I was listening to. Funny enough, the two guys that owned them were both in Santiago, Chile.
Wait, Chile?
All the streams that I'm getting, the number one on the 3 songs. Chile. Santiago.
No way,
yeah, Santiago. It's huge for hip hop, right?
Wow.
But I bought the YouTube channel. I bought the YouTube channel off him, right? It was on 85,000, and over COVID, the lockdown, I'm just watching it grow. And it's currently on 139,000.
Damn.
Right?
Jeez.
But the problem is, there's all these. This was part of the kind of strategy of kind of going, okay, how do I move every day?
Yeah.
Maybe there's something we can discuss and we can move. We can move on because at the moment, okay, like I put the Represent the Real video on it. Yeah. I have a couple of other things. I've an interview with J-Roo on it, but it had like 600 old school hip hop videos. It was getting 30,000 streams, like views a day, right? Like, but it wasn't my content. You get me? And it's getting copyright strikes. You get me? So I knew that if I was to do it, I had to clear it and had to build again. I have to go build again 600 to try and get that 30,000 views because that's probably like fucking a day. That's gonna probably add up to like 20 grand a year if you do it right. You get me? So this was kind of like part of my kind of move in the background. Kind of I was going during COVID. I was like, I'm gonna buy this YouTube channel. I'm gonna try and build something with it. This is part of the ongoing Stylistic strategy, but the music part of it is key at the moment. Yeah. The content video element is been a little bit pushed out, but it's coming. You know what I mean? It's because it's just fucking you're trying to finance fucking everything. You know what I mean? So during the COVID, then I was like, right, I want to move every day. So I started getting verses. So the KRS one verse. I got a couple of verses off MC8. I got a verse off Blue.
Wait, MC8?
MC8, yeah.
Jeez.
That's mental.
I got a couple of verses. MC8, yeah. I got what else?
If people don't know MC8, he's on the track with Kendrick.
He's on Mad City, bro.
Yeah.
That's mad on it.
I got a couple of things done with Master Ace. I had something with Rex. Like there was a good bit like done over that time, and then I probably got then on top of that, right? So I had all this kind of new music that I was creating during the lockdown, and I was like, right, I'm at the point this YouTube, and I'm kind of thinking, how am I gonna put all this together? And then I also had all the tracks from 2013 and 2014 that I was working with the American guys that the album was shelved, and I was like, fuck, I was like, that album was shelved, and I still have the guts of maybe 10, 12 records, and so I was like, I'm kind of sitting there now where I'm on, Jesus, I have a lot of music, or a good bit of music, and my kind of strategy, I'd like to always be 10 tracks ahead of myself, right? So I want to have 10 tracks, put one out, replace. You know what I mean? Put one out, replace, and then I'm always in a cycle. Now, like I'm kind of I'm kind of there, but I'm because of the I haven't got the consistency just yet. It's coming, but like I haven't got the consistency just yet, based on how much it costs to actually get a big track, like, you know what I mean, over the line.
Well,
So,
especially if you're using DJ Premiere's.
yeah, you know what I mean, like so that's another part. So I was kind of getting to this stage where I was like, okay, I'm ready to launch this. So I was about, let's say, when I say ready to launch, I was about a year out. I was about 12 months out, and this is where I go back to. I tried to get the game, right? I had an agreement in place, and I was like, okay, send me over an email address that I could send a contract.
This wasn't that scam thing, was it, bro?
No, look. This was like, and then they wouldn't do paperwork.
Right.
They wouldn't do paperwork. I agreed to the price. I was like, fuck it, like, I'm gonna do this. Fuck it, like, it's my favorite rapper back in the day. And like, I was like, they said the price. I said, give me a month. And I went, a month later, I'm like, I'm there, I'm ready to do it, let's go. And fucking, you know, had to fucking, you know what I mean, shove a lot of shit around, you know what I mean, to do that, and then
just you're trying to get a verse.
One verse, yeah, because I wanted to get that launch record, you know what I mean. I was like, I want to come out, with boom, you know what I mean. Going, this is it, like, you know what I mean.
Well, if you get the game on your single,
and that's what I really originally wanted, and then they turned around and they said, no, if we're gonna do no paperwork, this is the price. You get me? They're like, this is the price, and like, it was
no paper.
10 times
the fucking, you know what I mean? How much?
What that was?
Yeah, because I'm curious, like, how much is someone of that caliber trying to
without paperwork
for one verse?
Without paperwork?
Yeah.
65 grand.
Jesus.
That's what they're coming back on. I want this.
With no paperwork.
Yeah, it was bullshit.
That's so sketchy.
No. As in with pay. That's what they gave back. That's what I was like. With paperwork, like,
right.
Like a tenth of that. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? But basically, then I was sitting there going, I'm not doing this, right? And then I had a couple of beats and stuff like that. Like, I'd have a lot of beats that I don't have verses for and stuff like that. And I had to represent the real beat. And I originally wanted to try and get Large Professor on it, and it kind of didn't work out. And then I started the process. I said, right, I'm gonna go get AZ. AZ delivered his verse. So I paid the deposit. He delivered his verse in fucking like 6 hours.
What?
Yeah, like boom, just like I paid the deposit, and I was actually like, fuck. It was like, fuck, trying to get the second half over to him. You know what I mean? Because he literally just went boom, and he sent me over all the files, and you actually hear he was talking to the engineer and stuff like that. He's like, I literally wrote this today. Yeah, he's actually saying that, you know what I mean? Like, because he's not, you know, all the different takes, and like, you know, you could hear, it was actually very interesting because you could hear, and like, he maybe get something wrong, and then he goes, you know what I mean? And he's doing it again. So he gave me everything, all the different takes.
So he sent you over multiple takes?
Yeah, all the different takes.
So are you putting the tracks together then, or how's that working?
So there's a bit of an arrangement with that one, with because he had the takes, but they actually never sent over. Funny enough, they actually didn't send over the one take that they're on the reference. So we actually had to kind of piece it together. And then we got after that I got the KRS verse in. And then I was sitting there going, how the fuck do I put this together? Because how do I make it gel? And my original thoughts was maybe Jerry the Damager for the middle verse. Then I was kind of thinking, you know what I mean? So I was back and forth with Philly, maybe like Pharaoh Monch. And then we went with OC, who is actually fucking, I love his verse, like I absolutely love his verse in it.
Best on the track.
So that's then when I decided I have that YouTube channel. I need to make a fucking video. You know what I mean? It's like I need to make a video, and we got KRS because I have a great relationship with KRS-One's son Chris. Like we keep up all the time. He lives in London, and we actually booked the second KRS-One show through Chris, and we done a lecture. So KRS-One done a hip hop lecture. And then we also done a
Where was
lecture.
this?
Like,
I think I saw snippets of that on YouTube. Yeah.
Where was this?
It was actually in the video.
What?
Yeah, he done the lecture. I think the day before the show. Then he done the show, and then we done an after party in Wigwam. You know what I mean? Just with his son Chris. You know what I mean? That was just me and him.
That's class.
Put that together.
Yeah.
And we've stayed in touch. You know what I mean? And
Nice.
we got the verse through Chris.
Yeah.
Fat Philly had put me onto the family. Like the family's, like they're tops. Like they're tops. Like Chris is actually KRS-One's third DJ, so his son's his third DJ. KRS-One's wife Simone is like management. And then their other children are like they do like the merch and they do like the video.
That's mad house.
Oh, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
everything
I
is
love
in the
that.
family
Wow.
because this is hip hop culture shit.
Mm.
This is like. You know what I mean?
Old
Like
school
you know what I mean? It's like
kind of
old school
thing.
shit. It's like just it's like a culture thing. It's like, you know, he's building his family up. You know what I mean? He's giving them opportunities and stuff like that.
That's
And-
kind of cool, isn't it?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And so we done the video. We got the KRS part. Then we got the AZ part, and then we finally got the OC part. Now. Then we had to put it together.
No, right,
because it's like three
yeah,
different
yeah.
people shooting at three different locations.
Because right, bro, because
Yeah,
no,
fuck
because this is the
you do,
thing,
right?
right? No, right? Because I'm intrigued by this, because when you watch the video, it's like, they're all in different spots, but in my head, I was like, aren't they all in New York, though? So I was
No,
thinking, did you get one,
no,
you know what I mean? Did you get
so-
one person to go around?
I know KRS was in Atlanta.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I don't know if they live there. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I know KRS is in Atlanta. I think OC was in New York, and I'm not entirely sure where
Oh,
AZ
fuck me,
was.
bro, that's a job, innit?
And then so we were like, how do we gel that together, and make it look like it's all kind of one piece? And that's when we said we got to DJ Flip's house, and because we wanted to get Flip in the video, and we went to DJ Flip's house and we took
Sorry,
shots
just
of
for
Flip.
people, who is DJ Flip?
So DJ Flip's like a world scratch champion DJ from Ireland.
Yeah.
So we would have went over to like world scratch championships. I think it's IFT. I don't know, butcher it, I think, because it's changed. I think it's actually changed the championship. You know what I mean? The championship changed its name. He went over when he was about 18. You know what I mean? Complete
Yeah, it's
like
wild,
we
man.
went over 18 and he won fucking a scratch championship. You know what I mean? And like real high level technical shit. Like high level technical shit.
And he
Um,
does scratches on the
Yeah, he does
Yeah.
scratches on the record. And I wanted to put a bit of Ireland into it as well.
Of course, bro.
I want to
Yeah,
put a
yeah.
bit of Ireland into it because like I'm not really that guy that's like, you know, like I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy, right? I actually try to encourage people not to put Irish in front of the word hip hop.
Everything.
Why?
No,
Why?
I understand
Because
Let's know.
just why? Because I don't put US in front of DJ Premier. Do you know what I mean?
I think it devalues it almost.
I don't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
music is music.
Like
Yeah.
yeah,
People say,
Yeah.
oh,
Like, oh, you know
rapper.
what?
It's like, yeah.
you're making hip hop, and that should travel throughout the whole hip hop community.
Say that again.
Ron's
Say
been on this way.
that again. Say that again.
It's
Ron's been
like
on
you know what? You want to make a record. I want people in Germany to fuck with it. I don't. You know what I mean? I want people all around the world to go. That's hip hop.
Universal,
Yeah.
like.
You know what I mean? That's hip hop.
It's not
I
just
don't
Irish,
want
Come
it to go. That's Irish hip hop because then it's
It's
You're
not
diluting-
Ireland.
you're
stuff
diluting
in
your-
Ireland. It's there. That's all. That's the only place it's gonna go. That's the, you know what I mean. That's kind of always been my mentality.
No respect.
No, Simon.
No,
I
no,
think
no.
that's
I'm
small.
not. I'm not.
That's correct. Really.
I'm not. Like I'm not saying that it's a bad thing either. Like I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but that's just my perspective.
No, puts it in a box big time.
Yeah.
big
You
time.
don't want to put yourself in a box.
Yeah.
And
Good stuff.
but I did want that Irish element because I thought it would be. Like,
No,
you know,
'cause
I do want people to know that this is coming out of Ireland. That this
yeah.
is actually this is not coming out of like, you know.
American.
And the reality is like it's gonna take me probably a long time to recoup off this.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna take me a long time just to recoup. Like I'm in a good position with it, but like there's no one really doing that. Like
No,
that you know what I mean?
yeah.
That level of putting that act together without being an actual record label
Yeah.
that has
That's
multiple
true,
investors
yeah.
and you get me? There's
Are
no
you-
one guy kind of you know that?
Can I ask you a question here?
Yeah.
So is Stylistic Murder, is it a record label?
Okay. I'm gonna say yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Mm.
And my thing is Stylistic Murder, right? Is Stylistic Murder is not one person. It's not one specific, you know, label or one specific thing. Stylistic Murder is, you know, when AZ comes in and do a verse, AZ Stylistic Murder. When KRS comes in and does a verse, he's Stylistic. You get me?
I'm hearing you.
Like-
yeah.
It's the movement.
Yeah.
It's the this is
The imprint
culture.
of it,
This is
yeah.
this is culture, and like, you know, Stylistic Murder. When you actually like we've kind of stuck to a certain thing, but
And sorry, is
Let-
that
let-
just
let's-
you or
let's
is there
just-
anyone else in that?
at the moment there I had a guy that was doing like the shows with me, daughter, like he was doing the shows, but the moment it's just myself. Now, like I said, but am I really by myself when I have the whole fucking culture there? You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you get me? Am I really by myself? No.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You get me? I'm not really like I'm okay. I'm doing this. I'm by myself, but I don't look at it like that because when you know, if I get myself if I feel a bit down, I fucking, you know, put on a record. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a part of something. Not
No, I
not
hear
this,
you.
but you get me. I'm
Yeah.
part of something that's
Yeah.
bigger than me, and
It's worldwide, isn't
it's
it?
worldwide, and it's like and you know it's you know, in a way it's united and it brings people together, and it's like man, when you like I've been to hip hop gigs, and like I've seen lads walk out and go, oh my god, I was totally depressed coming in here, and I'm walking out of here going, that was you know what I mean, going,
Yeah,
holy
yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
just the energy,
Yeah.
and like that's what music is for me, like
Love
that's
that.
what it is for me, like I don't. Like I don't like get myself down around because it's like I just fucking throw it. I feel down. I just throw on 50 Cent.
Yeah.
I'm like I get on that, like I'm gonna throw on, you know, like whatever mood it is that I need to get me going. You know what I mean? Whether it's like fucking if I can't, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? It's like get that kind of buzz
Sky's the
going.
limit, Biggie
You get me?
Smalls, bro.
You know what I mean? Just getting that. It's whatever it is. It's like hip hop changes my mood.
Yeah.
It changes it changes my mood. It just gets me going, and like that's where. See. Okay, like I like the business side of it. I do like this, but it's bigger than that. It's so much bigger. Like I don't give a fuck. I ever recoup off this shit.
Yeah.
Like you know,
You love something you love,
I believe
yeah.
I will. I believe I will.
Yeah.
I'm like, as you said before, I'm all about building a catalog.
Of course.
Like the my thing here is like I want to like okay my target, like I'm looking at target and I'm going right, my thing is I want 35,000 streams a day, right, across the
How
board
many songs
a
do you
day.
reckon you need?
From your YouTube, right?
No, from Spotify.
From Spotify.
Okay, no, I've only 3 songs out at the moment. The songs are doing well. Like I've probably crossed like about 9 months, 3 songs. I've probably crossed about 380,000 between the 3 of them. Right, they're not doing
Dreams.
yeah.
Well done.
So they're doing okay. You know what I mean? They're doing good.
So,
They're doing okay, right?
Yeah.
But so like that would have like there's high marks, there's low marks. So at the moment it's kind of floating, where it's just steady at around like Represent the Real is probably doing like 7 700 to 800 a day.
That's
And
cool.
then the others are kind of doing maybe like 150. Maybe a high point might be 200. But maybe like 100 might be a low point. Then they're kind of, maybe
Yeah.
the 120. Like, you know what I mean? They're just kind of steady.
Yeah, you should do a masterclass
Um,
for some artists.
But my goal is I'm thinking, can I get 7 represent the reels? 8 represent the reels over a 10-year period?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking going, okay, because I'm looking at it going, okay, that's 800 now. That's not going to be 800 in 2 or 3
Yeah.
years.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
could be 2 or 3,000 if I do this right. Because if I bring out the next another big kind of record that I get a bit of traction
Yeah.
on, that could go from 800 to 900.
Yeah.
If I get 6 or 7 of those, that could go from 800 to 1,500, 2,000. You get me? And now all of a
That's
sudden,
not bad,
all of a sudden, I have 6 or 7 at like maybe
I know.
1,500.
I love your approach to this because it's
You
like
get me? And then I have the whole rest of the catalog.
yeah,
Thinking
That are just
long-term.
doing maybe 100, 200, 300. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that's the way I'm thinking. I'm going right. So when you break it down, you go, what's 35,000? You break that down over 100 records. That's 350 streams per day over. You know what I mean? A record.
Yeah.
Can I do that? Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, I can do that. I can definitely do it. I know I can do that. Like that's like I know I can do it. It's gonna take a lot of investment. Like a fucking it's gonna like I don't even put the number that I have in my head. I don't even put that out there. I know what it's gonna take. I know what it's gonna take. I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna like I'm 32 in August. By the time I'm 40, 41, I'm just gonna have I'm gonna have that catalog built.
Nice. Yeah.
And I'm gonna have. I know I can do it.
Nice,
You know what I mean? I
man.
know I
Yeah.
can do it. And
Sick.
can I ask you why? Why are you doing this?
Because if I fucking didn't do it, I'd go insane. Because
Yeah.
I just go insane.
That's
Like
why you love,
I just fucking love it, man. You know, I don't know. I just love
That's
it.
the best
I
reason.
love it.
really,
Like
isn't
I
it?
love it. Like this. Like I don't know what else to be doing. I don't know what else to be doing myself. Like I love working like 9 to 5. Cool, that's fine. You know, like fun and shit. But outside of work,
Music.
it's like outside of work. It's like, what do I want to do? And it's like, fucking, I want to make
Yeah.
cool records, and I want to meet cool
Sick,
people,
bro, fair
and
play.
I
I
love
want to
it.
build. You know what I mean? I want to build with people, and I want to. And it's very important that, like, we touched on this earlier. As I said, Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
What did I say earlier? I said his thing was bringing people together.
Yeah.
You get me? Like that's what
Getting
I'm.
the best
You know what I mean?
out
Like
of them
Rick
as well.
Rubin. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Like essentially, like a record, you're bringing artists together.
KRS,
You get me?
AZ, yeah.
You're bringing artists together, but it's so much bigger than that because then you're bringing artists over. You're giving other like Irish DJs, Irish artists an opportunity to perform.
Yeah.
You're like down the line, if I can build this up, like this is not like I'm looking at it going, this is not always going to be old school hip hop legends.
Yeah.
This is going to be, so obviously at the moment it's kind of just taken away, but there's going to be income coming back in 2, 3, 4 years if I do it right. It's going to start income coming back.
Fair play to you for a view like that as well, man.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, right, I don't have to always be doing this old school hip hop legend shit. I can start kind of building my own artists and
Yeah.
like putting out smaller tracks that are just adding to the catalog, and it's not costing me as much money to do it. And
Yeah.
I can do, for the price that I could do, one big record, it could probably do like fucking 10 smaller records.
Yeah.
100%.
And I could build up. You're gonna be build up people and help other artists
Yeah.
that I believe in and
Yeah.
be honest with you, there's nothing sure. Like there's nothing sure that I'm gonna do it. I know I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Nice,
Um,
nice.
Like
I love your confidence, man. I love
Um,
that, just that sense of you're like what you're.
I just it's been in me since I was like 15, 16, and then 18 I kind of knew what I wanted to do. Like when I hit 18 and I just was never in the position to do it. You know what I mean? Like you're 18, you're only out of school. I knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But then it's like, how do I do it? How do I go? Like how do I do it? How do I go about it? And it's like, it's just been building myself into positions to make contacts, make money to do. You know what I mean? Make money, and then it's like, how do I now? Like there's I still have a lot of questions. Like some days I got like fucking happened last week. Like where. you know, I'd be sitting there and then I'd get that overwhelming feeling of going, fuck, I don't have enough records. How am I gonna do this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how am I gonna do this? And like,
Stress.
you know what I mean? Like this, like that kind of stress would hit me and go, how the fuck am I gonna do this? And then, you know, and then especially when I'm putting myself out there, like that's where a lot of people struggle.
Yeah,
A
definitely.
lot of people,
Out there?
that's where the first hiccup
We
is.
talked about that.
Yeah,
That's where the
100%.
first real
Bro.
hiccup is that a lot of people are afraid to
We just had
really
this
put
conversation
themselves
earlier.
out there.
I don't know if it's an Irish thing as well, but it's like
It
everyone's
is,
like
it is.
quite kind of humble about what they do. It's like they don't want to
Um,
be kind of braggadocious about it. Or
I
something.
don't think it's
it is a
humble.
bit.
Not humble, sorry. Humble's
Because
probably
if
the
you're
wrong word.
humble, if you're humble, you know when to accept the praise. You know when to accept the acknowledgement, the achievement.
Yeah, it's more. Well, I don't know what. Would you say?
The word escapes me.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of like you don't really want to brag.
It's a little bit of pride.
Modesty.
It's
Modesty, probably.
modesty, but like, see, modesty and pride and modesty and humbleness are positive words, right? But when it comes to the point where you're always
Shooting yourself down.
you're always
Essentially.
shooting yourself down, it becomes a
So
negative.
It's false humility.
It's false humility. It's false humility. It's false. It's false modesty.
Self-deprecating.
Self-deprecating. It
Yeah.
literally comes down to pride. Like pride, the negative aspect of pride.
Do you think that Irish people are just afraid to kind of not be themselves, but like be like, oh,
It's
I'm
public
actually
opinion.
cool.
It's 100% public
I think it's
opinion.
just because I don't know. You know, like you know yourself from like when I don't know people are doing well and you hear other people going, "He's a gobshite." You know what I mean, and it's like literally just
Look,
just because he's doing well and he's
Wow.
confident in himself, that it's like he's a twat.
Okay, like I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Like I live in Rush, right? So I'm a little bit outside the city centre. Like I'm a little bit outside the city centre, so like I'm not actually really connected to anyone really in the city centre in a way. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot it's very cliquey. Ireland's very cliquey.
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Really,
very-
really cliquey.
100%, man.
I'm not really a part of any clique.
Yeah.
Apart from my own.
Your own
my
clique,
own
yeah.
little kind of thing.
That's
the best way to be
I'm not
sometimes,
part
man.
of any clique, and you know, I do think, you know, hip hop's naturally competitive,
Mm.
right? Hip hop's naturally competitive.
Yeah.
Like you look at some of the biggest hip hop beefs. That is just competition,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's competition, and you know, over the years, there was a lot of kind of shit in Irish hip hop because there was that competitive aspect. There was lads fighting outside fucking nightclubs and fighting at gigs and all this shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn.
you know what I mean? Over the years, I mean, just
Yeah.
back in the day, like lads fighting with each other, and you know, and like, there is that kind of he's fucking shy, and you know what I mean. There is that kind of competitive aspect to it.
Yeah.
But if you have a vision, like you just have to run with it. You have to run with whatever it is, and like there's always gonna be like I feed off fucking people, like I feed off people saying or thinking that I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because
I
that's
love
a feed.
That makes one.
Yeah,
more.
say I won't
Yeah.
do it. Say I
Yeah.
won't do it.
That's a big fucking thing on. You know what? Fuck that. I'm definitely like that's gonna. It's like, you know what?
It's that
I'm not
extra
only
push.
gonna do it. I'm gonna do it better than you actually think. I'm gonna do it better than you even thought possible. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, that's always been kind of the way I think. I don't let people, you know, bring me down at that. You know,
Of course.
That's cool.
and like even like you guys are at the releasing the music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys released a track, right?
Yeah.
Now, straight off the bat, like the 60s, yeah,
Yeah.
Like the 60s, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have a group,
Right,
bro,
60s, right?
Yeah.
So, like straight off the bat, I'm looking at it going right the 60s. So, like, just part of my growth strategy is I'm putting like say €10 a day into an Instagram story.
That's Instagram
That's the
ads.
Instagram story, right? And
Yeah.
it's brilliant. It's what I'm doing is I'm targeting specifically to Spotify profile,
Yeah.
right? To get followers.
Yeah.
There's one of me.
Yeah.
There's 6 of you.
Yeah.
I have a specific budget.
Yeah.
that yous can go.
Times 6.
Yeah, you get me. You get me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yous have
Yeah.
you like there's one of me.
Yeah.
There's 6 of yous.
Yeah.
So it's like that makes things so much easier. Where it's like, you know, even if you only wanted to do it at kind of that level of going say €10 a day, it's €10 a day between 6 lads.
Yeah.
no,
It's
true.
okay. It's 12 because there's like tax and shit.
Yeah.
But like
VAT.
you know what I mean? It's like it's €2 a day.
Mm.
It's It's not. It's actually less than chicken nuggets these days.
Chicken nuggets.
It's actually less.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean? Like
The amount you spend on a Phil Bar a day, man.
And I'm looking at it going, okay, like a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
Like that, like a lot of people like to grab a golden mic, get up on stage or whatever, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And
We
they're
ain't
not
talking
really
about that.
thinking about the day-to-day
Come on.
growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
The
kind of
day,
post
you know what I mean?
stuff and
That
then leave it, don't they?
day-to-day growth. Like I'm saying, like
Sick, man. Yeah.
I'm saying to you there, I know I'm gonna do it
Yeah.
because I'm growing on autopilot.
Your team. I'll be honest,
You get
man.
me? I'm growing on autopilot. And I'm looking
Yeah.
at it going. By the end of the year, I'm gonna be like at the moment. Like, okay, so I started on. This year I started just after I put out Reps and Drill and I put out a little funk with Onyx, and
Onyx.
I actually got the video for it the other day of a
What?
video now. Yeah.
Fredo Starno.
Yeah. I started, and it went to 517. So I was on January 1st. I was on 517 followers on Spotify. So we're now in what, May? I'm on like 2,170 or something, right?
Jeez.
So that's like 1,600 in 5 months. It's not huge. That's like €10 a day,
Yeah.
right? Now I know. So my goal was like, okay, can I get over 3,000? No, 3,000 is gonna be easy because I have other tracks coming.
Yeah.
And then when I put other tracks coming, that €10 a day is gonna go into maybe. Might fucking throw like 300 or 400 into you know what I mean, into the release weekend. So then that's gonna go where maybe I might get, at the moment I'm kind of getting somewhere between 8 to 12 followers a day. That might go to over when a release comes. That might go to maybe 40, 60, 80. If you get me,
Yeah.
where it's gonna jump up. And
You're kicking a lot of game here.
and-
Young artists, man. Pay attention
all the
to this.
game.
and I'm saying to you is right now, there's 60s. If like you was to starting today, like so I'm looking at it going, I could be at 4,000 by the end, at least 4,000 in the year. I know year 2 I'm at 10,000. Right? There's 6 years. You could be at 10,000 the first year if you have like that. If you have a catalogue of music, you know who you are targeting, who your audience is, and what I'd say to you is who your audience is be realistic, but say who in this moment in time, who is the best act that you could support in Ireland right now?
And as in an Irish act.
Anything. You know what I mean? Like, who is the best act that you think that, like, go, you know what, if I supported them, we jump in before them, we're gonna fucking smash it and their fans are gonna love us. Target their audience. You get me? Target their whoever that is, target their audience.
It's a tough one to think of.
It is tough.
It is.
But you know what I mean? But like it's easy. It's easy.
Skepta is what I was gonna think.
Skepta.
But
I
like,
think Sora Skepta.
I thought you were
but
thinking
you know what I mean?
Irish
It's very
artists,
easy for me because I know who I'm targeting. Because it's like I'm targeting DJ Premier fans, KRS-One
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
It's very easy for me.
See, we're
But
trying to figure that out, man.
you, when you have that going to go, okay, who's that artist? And then I'm going to push into their fan base. And then collab with those artists. Because collabs are huge. Collabs where it's at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, like, all I'm doing is collabs.
Of course.
All I'm doing is
Yeah.
collaborating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything's collaboration. And, like, again, there's 6 years. Like, budget for fucking collabs, like if there was 6 lads doing what I, like, involved in my project, I'm gonna get to that where I want to be in. You know what I mean? I'm not looking at.
Clear.
I'm not looking at 10 years. I'm looking at 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
Get me? There's 6 because if someone was to put the same amount of like effort and financial backing that I want to put in,
Yeah.
it's like everything's just easier. Like it's like we're getting verses now, for like, you know, it's not costing like I imagine, like, you know what I mean, like the verses are costing me a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you know, like I'm working and saving, and then I'm trying to do the verse, work and save and do the verse. It's a slow process. I wouldn't have that if there's 60s. And again, there's 60 years. Go, you know what I mean? Go do it.
We gotta go.
Put the money together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put the money together, whatever
Yeah.
it is, the promo money, and like I'll be straight, right? I'll be straight. I can already tell these are good, right? I can tell these are good, they're good lads.
Thanks, man.
But I
Appreciate
can also
it,
tell these are good because look where we're at,
Yeah.
right? Look where we're at,
Yeah.
right? Like, you know what I mean? The you know, stop it, man. There's a yamming over there, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, stop it, like. Right? You know what I mean? I can already tell, like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking man, I love that speaker.
Yeah, great
I'll
speaker.
tell you, man, right? I'll tell you, right? Dr. Dre, still to this day, I believe, right? The old version of this, right? The older version, like this is the newer model, yeah.
Yeah.
Same, I think it's the same inside, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Dre still has the old Yamahas in his studio. You know what I mean? To this day, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're and they what? How much are they? They're not that very expensive, but they're just so good. They're so good that he still to this day has them as a reference speaker. You know what I mean?
He is the golden era, man.
And Dr. Dre is mixing. That's what sets Dr. Dre apart as well. The mix, man. The mix is fucking unbelievable. I'd be listening. I'm in the club, fucking California Love comes on. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, man. It sounds as good as anything out there today.
Do you know what he used to do though? Apparently he had this like mono speaker, like some kind of shitty mono speaker, and he'd mix all his songs on that because it was like such a bad speaker that he was like, if I can get it to sound good on this,
Straight on this.
it's gonna sound class and everything. So he'd like most of the time when he was doing his mixing, he'd run it through the shit speaker first, and like get it sounding good on that, and then it would just sound amazing on the big ones. And I was like, that's actually a good approach.
Yeah.
I feel like he got mad trying to do it though.
Dre's sound sets him apart. Like we talk about hip hop all day. But the Dre's sound sets him apart in terms of the mixing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the artist, okay, like the Tree is amazing. The Tree, like the Eminem, the Kendrick, the Game, like even 50
cents, man,
you know what I mean? That the Tree, like. But then, okay, that Tree didn't even start to Dr. Dre. That Tree really starts at Eazy-E.
Yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I mean? That Tree actually starts at Eazy-E, but Dr. Dre has that. You know what I mean? He like Eazy-E was the kind of top guy on the Tree, but Dr. Dre has probably contributed to the Tree at this point. You get me? Where he's like, and then it's not even like obviously like you know. It's the sound of even Death Row, even though like you go there's like Daz from the Dog Pound was producing a lot of stuff as well.
That's
That sound is still like, even though like Daz done a lot of work. When you think of Death Row, that G-Funk sound, like those boys like Dre, Daz, like when you think of that. That is literally like the epitome of fucking what you know hip hop. Like, you know what I mean? That is like the epitome when you know what I mean, like the fuck man, I love this shit. I love it. Like you know, the boys just fucking like the way they chop samples, and like G-Funk's fucking so good.
Man, I miss it. I feel like I don't know if people still make G-Funk. I never really hear it, but I miss it.
There's a lot of guys that are still. Like kind of like me, like stuck in that kind of, you know what I mean? Like my thing, like I'm more I like East Coast better. I do. I like East Coast. But
that G-Funk is nice when you hear it.
Man, G-Funk is. It's always the synth lead.
I'm like, I love the East Coast, but
like, as I said, like I said earlier, the Game was my favorite rapper.
Of course,
Like he wasn't, but like it was because that West Coast shit was just like. Even like, okay, I wouldn't even say How We Do was a West. I wouldn't say a lot of the stuff was a West Coast records. There's a lot of them, but like, I was listening to the Game on the way in here, like the off the Doc's Advocate Compton. Will I Am done it. Funny enough, Will I Am was actually already signed to Rootless.
What?
Back in the day, yeah, he was actually with Eazy-E now.
Shit.
Yeah,
that's mad.
Compton.
Did you know that?
yeah, because Will I Am was actually dope back in the day.
No, true.
He's actually like. He's not like, I wouldn't say like for me, right, I have a circle, you know what I mean? I have a circle along like a dartboard.
Yeah.
What's hip, you know what I mean? Like hip hop, and it's like gangster in the middle. You know what I mean? Like I like, for me, like gangster, then you have like, you know, like someone like maybe Pete Rock, CL Smooth. And you have like maybe Tribe, Class. You have different styles, different elements, but they're all gonna hit that kind of center point of like
that East Coast.
This as in like and everything kind of is influenced off it. Obviously they have like even going back further. You know, even going back further. But for me, like Gangstar Mom the Truth was probably my favorite album.
Wow, number one.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Just because it just hits that for me, like
hits all.
No, like that's just my perception.
Yeah.
You have your center point. You
No,
have
of
your
course,
center. You
yeah.
get me?
Yeah.
That's just my perception. That's where I like that's what I like the most. And I know you guys. I know you guys like J. Cole and Kendrick. I've been watching. I actually met J. Cole.
Did you?
Yeah, I met him in Vicar Street.
For the
number of
Born
years
Sinner
ago.
tour. That was years ago, right?
Yeah, it must have been that. I met him. The only thing I really remember was asking him. I asked him a question. Like I just said, like, what's the biggest advice? You know what I mean? And he said, just do what you love. And I've always kind of thought about it. He said, just do what you love. And you know, like, I'm big on that shit. Like I'm big on that. Like I go on rants sometimes on fucking Instagram where like I go rants like I know that like what I'm doing like I could be out throwing fucking Drake parties. No offense to Drake, right? You know what I mean? No offense to Drake, but like what comes with Drake, right? Crowds,
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like if you're out throwing Drake parties, like you're the popular guy.
Yeah.
You know the girls. You're bringing the girls into the club, and I'm throwing the party, blah blah blah. Fuck that. Fuck that, right? Because I'm into what I'm into.
Do you like Drake?
I used to. I don't mind them.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
No, but I rate what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like you could be doing that, but I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I'm not that person. I'm this person.
Be
Yeah.
This
authentic
person.
to yourself, like.
And I see that go. I see it going. You know what? There's probably more money in going down that direction. There's probably more money in making music I don't really like. There's more money in doing gigs I don't really like. There's more money in and there's like what else gonna come in? Like there's gonna be girls around. There's gonna you know what I mean? Like it's like but fuck that. Like it's like this is what I like.
Yeah.
And it's like doing what I like. The right things are gonna come to me.
Yeah.
The correct thing. What you know what I mean? The correct. Everything that is what's correct is gonna fall into place for me.
Yeah.
And you'd be happier as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be happier. Well, like, there's a lot of like I'm not gonna. I don't even have names to name, but there's a lot of people that do this shit just because it's popular.
That's true.
That's
You know what I mean?
You
They're
can
just
hear
doing it
it
because
as well.
it's popular. They follow trends. They do whatever's popular, and like Irish hip hop at the moment, right? Irish hip hop's gone through a completely like this is just not trends, but Irish hip hop's gone through a total like revelation like period. Like fuck me, like I was very young, but I would have been listening to, like the likes of Class A's,
Yeah.
Rob Kelly,
Yeah.
like Terrorist, G.I. Costello.
the OGs.
Jambo, you know what I mean? All these guys. I would have
Human Condition,
yeah,
Jambo,
I would have been.
yeah.
I would have been. Now, I would have kind of been on even start now, kind of doing what I'm doing, while they were kind of doing stuff in hip hop.
Okay.
And then there was a period where there was probably a period where, there wasn't that much happening. And then the original Real Boys kind of came along.
Oh yeah.
Right, the original Real there
In
was
fair-
right,
yeah.
the original Real Boys. They're not really they weren't really they were cross. They were kind of crossing.
kind of like tried a little bit with.
They were crossing, right? They were crossover, right? But they, in my opinion, opened the door for versatile. You know what I mean? Like okay, sorry, the Rubber Bandits as well. Rubber Bandits,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Then
yeah.
They deserve more
but
credit,
no,
actually.
not
I think they need to be going somewhere.
Not in terms of not in terms of musically, but in terms of
Irish hip hop.
in terms of supporting big gigs, playing big gigs, in terms of getting MCD involved, MCD supporting Irish hip hop, or things that are involved in Irish hip hop. You get me? Like that, as in all of a sudden you have Rubber Bandits playing maybe Aiken promotions with a Vicar Street.
Yeah.
Or you're doing kind of I know they're kind of comedy as well. They're kind of comedy hip hop and they have their own lane, but it's a hip hop.
It's still
Hip hop themed.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different,
Influence.
but it's hip hop themed. And then you had obviously the guys
Original Real Boys.
the Real Boys. It's still kind of like call back to hip hop.
They opened up for Kanye West
Yeah, and
at fucking Marley Park.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Pharrell Williams was next on the fucking bill.
like you know what I mean. So I think that there was that kind of period, and then we go into this kind of next kind of period where all of a sudden you have RTE involved for the first time. Really, in my eyes, the first time ever.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you've
true.
RTE
Referring to the hip hop documentary they done.
hip hop documentary.
Yeah.
You have them pushing artists.
Mm-hmm.
You've pushing artists for the first time, right? That probably none of these will probably ever ring up my number, you know, because I'm in my own shit. Like they never, like
Yeah.
right, they'll probably never ring up my number, right? But they're pushing artists for the first time. I know there's like the likes of Versatile. I know that they don't really, they have their own lane as well. They have their own lane,
Yeah.
and now they, you know, they were kind of getting a bit of a push from the likes of the blogs and stuff like that at the start.
Yeah.
And they're not really getting that anymore. They're kind of gone in their own lane now. Like again, like that style, it's not for me.
Yeah.
But I know that regardless, like it's not my type. I wouldn't do it. It's not my music. But I know that they're like what they're doing, right? The Tree Arena,
Yeah.
right? I know
Snoop Dogg.
I
They went
know
on tour with him, yeah.
that there's
Yeah.
people that are in that crowd at fucking 13, 14, 15 that when they're 23, 24, 25 are gonna, they now want to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their lane mightn't be. I mean, their lane is gonna go different again.
Well, it's
Where
still
their lane
adds
could go
to
around
it,
this
yeah.
lane, like they get the old school shit. But you get me,
Yeah.
like they're like regardless, like it even comes down to the YouTube boxing.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a fan. Like I'm a huge boxing fan. I love it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not a big fan of YouTube boxing.
Like,
But
same.
I know that there's kids watching Jake Paul.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying-
watching KSI.
I'm saying KSI and going, I want to join a boxing gym.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I want to look if they're doing it. You know what I mean? They see. You know what I mean? Like
It's interesting. Yeah.
like kids and like adolescents, like, you know, it's development, and they're seeing shit and they're going, I want to be like this, and you know, they're like, you get me? And I know that this period is very interesting. Like we've had kind of breakout artists for the first real time, right?
Yeah.
I know he's not even in Ireland anymore. Reggie Snow broke out,
Yeah.
right?
Reggie
Bre-
Snow's big one, yeah.
yeah, he broke out. Versatile broke out. You know what I mean? It's kind of in Ireland
I
that
feel like
in Ireland and
Kojak's
England.
just there as well, man.
Kojak's just there, yeah. He's breaking out.
Yeah.
It's at the moment it's kind of Ireland and England.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and the UK market's fucking huge. You
Yeah.
you know, if you can go over to the UK, it's huge. You have Denise Child.
Denise Child is doing bits.
You know what I mean? She's getting a great push.
On Ed Sheeran's tour, right?
Yeah, she get a great push, right?
Yeah.
And like that again, the industry are starting to wake up.
Yeah.
Industry, MCD, you know what I mean? Aiken, you know, RTE, you know, the establishment, the guys that have this kind of game sewn up in terms of like, you know, like
People that can
promoters,
push
the
stuff.
people that can put someone on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're now all of a sudden. Now it's not my style of hip hop. You know, it's not what I'm doing. Like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but they're all of a sudden getting a bit of, you know. They know there's money in it now.
Yeah. Because even look at the festival lineups for the past.
Yeah.
This year and
Festivals.
last year,
It's all Irish.
all Irish. But the years before, you'd be lucky
Yeah.
to catch
And-
someone
See,
on a
Bunny
small
Soul as
stage.
well, man. They have like the Hennessy Hip Hop House.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like a full Hennessy stage.
All Irish.
All hip
Yeah,
hop.
and I think that, like, it's interesting, right? Like KRS One said something. He said something where it's like, you know, like businesses and stuff think that, you know, they tell us, like, you know, corporations and governments and stuff think that they tell us, but he was like, you know what? It's like hip hop tells the businesses because we make shit cool. He's like, look
Yeah.
at Timberland boots. He was like, they were a construction boot.
Yeah.
He's like, they were a construction boot, and then hip hop brought them into the culture and started
Made
making
it
them a
fashion,
fashion
yeah,
statement.
yeah.
And now all of a sudden, everyone wanted to be in Tim's. And now all of a sudden, you get me, like, so
Yeah.
so like this is all like the establishment know there's money, and they, you know what I mean, and they know that like there's gonna be brands that are gonna get involved. Like Littlewood's got involved. Like,
Denise.
It's very now, but
Yeah.
Denise.
Denise?
Yeah.
Denise was on
Yeah.
She was on
Yeah.
their ad, man.
No way.
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah. Like they got involved. So saw on the TV, like, her music on the TV. Like I don't know. Well, I don't know Versatile. I don't know Denise. I don't know Kojak. I don't know them. Like I said, I'm in my own little bubble.
Yeah.
I'm in my own little bubble, but I'm watching.
Yeah, of course.
I'm watching. I see it. I see it all. You know,
Study the
and
game.
I'm watching them. And now I don't know much about UK. I'm not gonna lie. As a matter of fact, I actually fucking hate all that drill shit. Man, I hate it.
Oh,
I
man.
fucking hate it. I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
a kind of a rinse sound by now, I think, isn't it?
Man, I fucking hate it. Like, it's terrible, man. It's I just hate it. It's so bad. It's
No, it's
so
alright.
bad.
Well, I understand, especially from like
If you're coming from someone who loves boom bap,
Yeah.
listening to drill, it's like,
Look, there's like, I don't like it's not for me.
Yeah, that's
Um,
okay.
like-
It's not for me either, but I'm just saying it's okay.
Like I'm not gonna lie, like there's so much English like stuff at the moment, and like I see my friend's gonna be fucking going, what the fuck? You're what the fuck? You know, he says, it's just not for me. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
No, I actually like I'll go for it. I despise it.
Yeah.
I go for it. I fucking despise it. I despise it. It's just it's
Wait, are you
feel
talking
that.
about drill or UK hip hop?
just not all UK hip hop. There's
Right.
some really good shit.
Yeah.
There's some really good shit. But just that kind of like as like I said, the establishment's getting involved, and
Yeah.
now UK hip hop is now just as big as US hip hop here. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like the commercial,
Oh, it's a good point.
commercial.
Gigs, Dave, Stormzy.
Commercially, yeah, like I don't there's actually I don't mind most of them, like I don't mind them, but there's like I just don't like it.
Yeah,
I
no, I
don't
respect
like
it.
I just don't like the sound, like and it's not like it's just I just don't like it, like and I do like some UK hip hop,
Yeah.
and I do
Do you like Skeptic?
I don't mind them. Like I don't mind them. You know what I mean? Like I don't mind them.
Konnichiwa album. and that,
Like it's not something I really look into. Like I hear it in passing.
yeah.
Like you know what I
And
mean?
you
Like
think
maybe
it's
I've been in a friend's car. And maybe like I've actually I've definitely you know heard something and went I like that.
Yeah.
You know, like I've heard stuff when I actually liked that and I thought that was cool. Wouldn't listen to it, but I thought it was cool. You know what I mean? It wouldn't
Yeah.
be for me, but I thought it was cool.
It's like Kofi Stone, bro.
I actually don't know what that is.
He
Man,
has
listen to
He
he
Kofi.
has that boom bap sound, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, you might like Kofi Stone.
Kofi and Lil Kana, man, the two
Yeah.
Oh, that's
sounders.
sound.
I do know this. I do know this guy. I do
Yeah.
know this guy.
Yeah, that's good.
I only found them actually. I only found them maybe a month ago.
Yeah, he played over here recently.
I only met him. Sorry, I only. So I only literally I was listening to a certain type of beat.
Mm.
And it was a low current type beat.
No, well, it was listening to like Jay Dilla style, and then the guy I was listening to had those type beats.
Yeah.
And like I was listening to them and I'd actually been skipping over them because I was like I don't know who that is. And then I listened to one and I was like, oh, I actually like this.
Did you listen to his latest album or his oldest? Because you're a boom bap head, man. Go back and listen
I couldn't really tell you,
to
I just
his oldest
I
stuff.
couldn't tell you names, tracks,
Yeah.
something like that.
Just get what's in
I've just in passing. I just probably just but I did actually go. That's okay. But it's kind of it's kind of even lo-fi kind of.
Yeah.
His older albums are more that kind of boom bappy stuff. Like his latest album was a bit more, I don't know, would you say jazzy, live. Yeah, but like his first one, like what
What would you recommend, man, to get
songs or albums?
albums? Like if you were to recommend like a low current album.
Yes,
or Kofi
Yesterday's
Stone,
gone. I think Yesterday's gone.
Great album.
boom bap kind of job. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey boys, I have to take a piss real bad.
No, so do I, yeah, so do I.
I've been holding that in. I'm back in a sec.
I'm the same.
But man,
But yes, it like I do feel like Irish hip hop's getting a push, and there's going to be like okay, Reggie Snow is breaking out. He broke out already. Like he's got 2 million monthly followers there.
Has he released that in the
Not-
last
not-
while?
not-
Because
not
I don't
really
really
sure.
follow him, to be honest. Or what he just be up to.
I don't really follow him myself, but I do think there is going to be a wave of breakout artists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a wave of breakout artists, and the only thing I'd say is that, like that, when you do get a bit of a push, sometimes it goes like this, and then it kind of goes.
It's off for a
You know
while.
what I mean? You get a big. You know what I mean? You get a push from kind of the big guys, and then it kind of goes that, and then it kind of goes down, because they're pushing someone else now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened
Yeah, I
to
mean-
Farce and a few people.
You know what I mean? It goes up, and then they start pushing someone else, because, like, you know, labels tend to like sign like multiple acts, and then like they give like a little bit of money here, a little bit of money here, a little bit of money on each,
Mhm.
and then they kind of back the one that's
The
kind of
one that's doing the best.
the one that's doing the best, and they
Yeah.
kind of then start putting more. You know what I mean? More money into
that side.
that side and less into here. You get me?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm very like anti major label.
I've been
You
the
know,
same.
in a
I've
way-
heard
That's
horror
what happened
stories.
to,
In a
so
way.
I remember when I always think the story's mad. So do you know the story when how Frank Ocean dropped Nostalgia Ultra?
Nostalgia Ultra now.
So basically because this is what led to him linking up with Odd Future. So one thing that he was literally signed to Def Jam because he was signed there as a writer, and then soon enough he wanted to be signed up as an actual artist. So they signed him, but they had him shelved. Like they did not use him at all as an artist. So he then went with Odd Future, created Nostalgia Ultra, dropped it, and then that caused, because then once he dropped that had Beyonce listen to it because Jay-Z was playing it in the car, and then they were like, "Who's that?" And they flew him out, and then that's when he was on
Watch the Throne.
Watch the Throne, and then after that, Def Jam took him seriously, and then they actually gave him like proper like an actual couple minutes to actually make Channel Orange, and then.
Bro, didn't something similar happen to J. Cole as well, boys? He was shelved, and then he dropped a lot of those mixtapes.
Oh, was he shelved before the mixtapes?
I think he wasn't getting his push, man.
I know that I think he tried to get onto Rock Nation multiple times, tried to get onto Jay-Z, and it just wasn't working. And then
I think they had him, and they wouldn't push him, and then he was like, "Here, Friday Night Lights," wherever it was, and then it was like because that got the buzz then on the internet.
Yeah.
They got huge buzz.
Because the thing is, right, the labels will push it if you have enough buzz and enough people paying attention and wanting it. Then the labels will be like, "Do you know what?
We need to
Okay,
grab this guy.
Yeah.
yeah."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 50 Cent was saying that he used to. Did you listen to 50 Cent's audiobook, man?
I was listening to some of it.
Bro, there's one real cool.
He's actually very good, isn't it?
Man,
Really good, isn't it?
50 Cent's intelligent, man.
is this the Powers one, the Irrefutable Powers?
The cover is him sitting on a chair. It was
50
on.
Law. Is that a 50 Law?
It wasn't,
50th
it wasn't actually that one, it's a new one.
He's got another book.
Yeah, I just saw it on YouTube. I was like, fuck, I'll stick this on. He said something class, right? Where he was like, what he done was, he dropped 2 singles, right? And one would be what he was saying was for the streets, for his core fan base.
But that's always been hip hop. Hip hop, there's always. Actually, it's kind of gone now. But I remember back in the day, like in the 2010s, at least the 2010s and the 2000s, right? When an artist was dropping singles, you'd have your number one. You got 3 singles, really, but then you also had your street single.
Yeah,
That was his one for the
Exactly
club.
what I did.
Yeah.
On the, I had Onyx on the back.
Yeah.
B-side.
An A and a B-side.
Yeah, A and a B-side that represent real, and then street single.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Onyx.
Yeah.
That's the way. There's like that. I've seen it done, but you know what I don't like about that whole thing. Sometimes the street single is really good, and it doesn't make the album. You know what I mean? And I was like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It doesn't make the album.
Damn to Biggie Smalls, boys.
Happened to J. Cole with Who Dat, and then it was later added onto the album. But boys, it's getting quite late, right? But we actually didn't do an introduction, right? So you've caught on your own Bar for Bar Musical podcast, right? Making you do a quick roundup on the boys, and also give the guys an intro for Gav.
Of course. Because we're a Bar for Bar podcast. Musical conversation. This feels weird, me doing this, man.
Yeah, I know.
This is normally you.
Yeah.
Go on, keep doing it.
Yeah, so we're a musical conversation. We talk about I'm not used to this. But Dan, what's the story, bro? How are you getting on?
Oh, good, man. Yeah, keeping well. We had a good day at the writers' camp, didn't we?
We did. Someone wasn't there.
Whoa, you going mad at me for?
Shout out
You
to
were
Vision
supposed to
Lab,
be
shout
there.
out to Ron,
Yeah.
Bentley, and Wale,
There was a
man.
writers' camp on.
There
Yes,
was
go on, let's talk about those. I'm excited to hear.
Yeah, no, it's actually very in line with a lot of what Gav was talking today. It was just like
Bringing
like
people together.
bringing people together, and then we
Yeah.
also we made 8 tracks in like one day, and there were 8 like really good tracks, all different, all very unique, all very well made.
But also kind of gelled together at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's like
interesting.
literally on top of literally him saying it's like you make that, but now what? Do you know what I mean? It's like it's now actually being like I feel so motivated now.
Oh man, so did I when I
Cause you
thought
just-
he said he stayed up making beats and all till
Yeah.
3
Well, that
in
was
the
also
morning.
because I was making beats for other people, and I like making
Yeah.
beats for myself, and that
Yeah.
was boring.
Respect it, though.
But it was like I realizing it's like actually just like you have to put the stuff out there.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah,
to,
you do.
You have to put it out there, and you have to
Hold on
keep
to that.
and you have to just keep going, and not let one thing deter you.
Build that catalogue, as Gav
Yeah,
says.
as you're saying, yeah.
What I'd say is that you don't know what song that other people are gonna take to.
Yeah.
I mean, like you could be sitting
You
on a
don't know what to
song and
do.
go, you know what? Like the thing is, there's emotional attachment.
Oh,
with songs.
Yeah.
hugely, man.
There's emotional attachment.
And
but
you've heard it so many times.
Yeah, you've heard it, and then
Genuine.
it's just like you could be holding on to a song and you're going, you know what? that fucking reminds me of this time
Oh,
where
yeah,
you know what I mean? I was going
yeah.
through this,
Yeah.
and you're like, fuck, I don't know about that, and then you just need to let that go.
Yeah.
You need to put it out because then it's like you don't know which one that people are gonna take to,
Yeah.
and you know, some of the best shit you're ever gonna do is when you're down. When you're fucking down,
Yeah.
like when everything's done, when the chips are kind of stacked against you, and then you're kind of going, I'm on that fucking like I'm you know motivated to kind of go no. That's when you're gonna really do your best shit, like, and you need to rather than holding on to that,
Channel
going you know I'm going kind of down or fucking push through that, like smash it, like.
Man, see what you were saying about like not knowing what's the hit. Just ever hear the story about Shaggy? It wasn't me.
Yeah.
Did you see that video on YouTube?
Great
boy?
story,
Yeah.
man.
Bro,
That's
do
probably
you
one
know
of the best little documentaries I've seen about a song.
Man, incredible. It was like fucking out of nowhere. Like the Shaggy's tour was dust. No one was coming to see Shaggy, man. He was in the dogs, like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
That's a good point.
it was alright.
What was it? A DJ in Hawaii started playing it on the radio.
Man, but it was like a leaked thing because he sent over the album, wasn't it? And he was just like going through it. He's like, fuck it, man, these little leaks. And that one was like, what the fuck is this? Because it wasn't even out, man. It was just like.
Yeah.
And then it became like one of the biggest songs ever, man. I'm like, oh.
It wasn't me.
That's one.
His career was nearly over.
It wasn't.
That's one of those moments where you love the human race for a minute again. Right?
Yeah.
But Kev, how are we getting on, bro?
I'm good, man. I still thought it from yesterday, man. Yesterday was a long day.
I heard you made a bit of a sexy beat with
Bro,
Shannon.
James
Shout out
Shannon. I'm already
James
shouting
Shannon,
about 10 times. I don't know if he's even watching this, but man, that guy, wizard. Because man, it was like 6:30. It was like 6:30. Yeah, it's over there. It
And
was
his
like
notebook. His book or not?
The Book of Rhymes.
it was getting late. We were supposed to finish at 8, and it was like 7:15. And I was like, I haven't made out for me all day. Went downstairs, and James was kind of just sitting on the sofa, like trying to write a verse. I was like, you up to that, James? And he was like, no, not really. I was like, let's go. So I just dragged him upstairs, man. He played guitar, laid the drums down. Like 15 minutes, man. And the thing,
Did you bring the NPC for that?
I had the NPC in the other room, man.
Right.
I was in the other room initially, but I was recording people all day. And you know how it is in there, man? The lights, there's no window. Shit starts getting to you after a while.
Fucking hot and you'll
Bro,
start losing your mind.
When
bro,
you're in
yeah.
there for like 3-4 hours, you're like, I just need to go outside. I like had a
Same
nap in the
loop
car
over
outside.
and
No,
over.
man, I just need to lie in there.
It can be tedious. It's tedious.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it's not exactly like some of these things aren't exactly hard work. It's tedious.
it's
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
like mentally
Yeah.
mentally
It's-
exhausting,
yeah.
but not physically.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I'm good. I have no complaints. But yeah, yesterday was amazing as well.
Yo, plug that, man. That's the Vision Lab writing camp. Gonna be another one soon, right?
Another one in June.
You heard
Yeah.
it
So
here
yeah,
first.
keep posted. Watch and follow us, and come to the next one.
Now, Ron, how are
Yeah.
you doing, man?
And I'm good, man.
How's
Yeah,
the name, man? Ron the
man.
Don.
I'm good, man. We're very good. After yesterday, I was inspired, man.
Same,
I was
Yeah.
very
very
inspired.
inspiring.
So much talent out here in this
How
country,
was,
man.
how was the grill, bro?
Bro, it's got
Tasty. Shout out Wale.
And
I need to shout.
And-
And Ron. Sorry. I thought you were gonna plug yourself there, so I had to shout out Wale as well because.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Beckley too, man.
And
He
Beckley.
was on the grill, but like,
No, he wasn't allowed. There's some weird beef going on there. Beckley was like, next, my chicken's better and all. And yeah.
we're gonna have a cook off soon.
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
Under Vision Lab, like?
Yeah.
Yeah, for that.
Well, introduce the man.
Bro, Gav, I have to say, bro, you've been so insightful here, man. Actually, man, that was quality there, bro. I feel like I learned a lot. You're after showing us a lot. And in fairness, when you kicked a lot of game for young artists, man, I like
Man,
that.
you
That's-
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And for
man.
ourselves.
That's
as well.
valuable info,
Yeah,
man.
man. Kicking game for everyone. But now, bro, you have a serious story, bro. And fucking, for me to introduce you, I'd say that you're someone who, you're sticking to your own lane. You're pushing it as far as you can. But the main thing, you said it yourself, bro, I really love that. You love that boom bap sound. You love that 90s hip hop. And you're going with that. So, I mean, I think that's sick. And I think everyone could kind of learn something from that.
Yeah.
To be honest, everyone
Stick
that's
with what
watching.
you love.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
said J. Cole gave you the voice. That's
sick,
unreal, man.
That's sick.
Yeah, I've actually met like a lot of really really cool people, and I'd say meeting KRS and his son, his family was what was a big thing for me because I started getting into that like culture, hip hop culture side,
And seeing, yeah.
and like you know where he's very like not like
He's
well,
the
you know,
teacher, bro,
yeah
he
like
does,
but like
yeah.
he's all about like family
yeah.
and unity and like
The elements.
you know what I
of
mean? Like,
hip-hop.
like that side of things, and where like you know, like I've watched so many interviews where he's like, you know, he's like, do you really think? he's like, who the fuck's running the big record labels, because they're putting out tracks for like the little girls and little boys.
Yeah.
I want, no, I want the guy with the nice car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're not actually putting out records for the, for the real men and the real women who and like the caring, loving women.
Stuff
You get me?
Yeah.
That the caring, loving women that supports and like the man. You know what I mean? Rather than like we see what's coming out.
Yeah.
We see what's coming out. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Some crazy stuff.
we see what's coming out. Like, you know what I mean? And like I'm on that page, and that to me like I'm learning every day. Like, I'm learning off all of you.
Nice.
I'm learning off KRS. Like I'm watching. I'll actually big up Uppy. Do you know Uppy?
Sounds familiar.
He's an Irish, right? He's an Irish guy. And Martin Ocean, Martin's really sound guy. What's interesting, right? Upbeat, for me, right? I've had, I'm a friend. I wouldn't be like best mates with the guy, but I'm friendly with him, and he's Irish, right? He's an Irish guy, and he kind of does it's like hip hop, kind of punk, kind of punky pop, right? You know what I mean? He has his own lane, and I'm really enjoying watching his journey, right? So like he just crossed, for the first time, 100,000 monthly listeners.
Damn.
Right, like, so he's been building it. I'm looking at all the analytical shit. Like, I'm looking at the background, like on the Spotify, Spotify for artists. I'm looking at like what's he he doesn't know I'm doing this, but like, I'm looking at going like what's his listeners and how long did it take him to get there, and like how many streams is he getting per day, and then he puts out a new track, and I'm going, okay, how much of a bump is he after getting up off that, and who did he collab with, and how much like followers they have, and how much monthly listeners they have. Like, I'm looking into all that type of shit, and like I'm seeing what he's doing, and I can see him building. You get me? I can see him building, and I see that he's doing very well now.
Nice.
And I actually like, it wouldn't be, again, it's not my lane, but I actually like some of the tracks. Like, I've said it to him as well. I was like, and again, he's not doing it for Ireland. It's bigger.
It's
bigger. It's like, you know what I mean? You look at his Spotify, like, it's America.
Yeah.
It's America. It's like, I believe it's America. That's, you know what I mean? Wow. But I'm into that type of shit. Like, my background's American.
Yeah.
Alright, that's my background.
Tell, bro. Yeah, you have that.
My background's marketing, and I love analytics. Like, I've said before that, like, creating the tracks, like, okay, I love doing this. I'll actually show you some of the stuff I'm working on after. I love doing this, but my favorite part is when we put out the music and pushing the music and studying the analytical shit. You know what I mean? The analytical side, and studying who to collab with. What's their price? Is their price relevant to how much followers they have? How much monthly listeners they have? You get me? Like, it's it's okay. It's about creating the right sound, but it's like, you can go, okay, there's exceptions where you go, someone might be right for a song. You go, okay, I'm gonna have to overpay this. I'm gonna have to overpay. He's not maybe worth what, but he's right for a song. You get me? That there's an exception, but that's huge. That's that whole game there, like picking like analytical shit, the right collabs, who has the buzz, where their buzz is. That's the shit I love.
I can see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been put onto some mad.
Like that's the shit I love, and the like. Maybe I don't even like hip hop. Maybe I just like that, and I just like applying it to hip hop. You know what I mean? Maybe like that's just like, okay, how do I apply that?
We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk after. No clappers. We're gonna chat.
But maybe it's like, maybe I just like that. Maybe that's what I like, and maybe just hip hop's just the outlet for that.
It's the outlet.
But like it's, and like I said, it's 6 years, boys.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, you're 6 years.
Pressure? No. It's good. He's applying pressure. Yeah, we need to.
You're giving us the right push, Gav.
Yeah.
Respect it, man.
Gav, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for today.
If there's one more person in this room, we haven't asked how he's doing.
He's a birthday boy, am I right?
He is.
Actually,
That's why you got
yeah.
introduced.
And I'd actually like to say, like, obviously this is my first time being an audience.
Yeah.
Being an audience.
Yeah.
Well, I'd actually like to say, I have to say, you came across a really nice guy.
Thank
And
you, man.
I have to say, like, straight off the bat, right?
Mm.
I knew, like, obviously I saw you do, I saw you do, I think it was Ellie's.
Cubana.
Yeah, so I saw.
Truth and Desire.
I saw you do this, right?
Yeah.
And I have to say, I saw like the passion, right?
Thank you,
The
bro.
I saw the passion,
Yeah.
and straight away I went, this really nice guy,
Sweet, man.
and these are all like lovely lads, but obviously
Sure,
I've been
for
talking
sure.
to
Yeah.
talking to like
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm very grateful that you invited me.
Bro, of
Nah,
course.
bro.
Right now,
I know,
very,
I'm
very, very
happy.
grateful, and I have to say, hopefully this is the start of building something very, very, very nice between a whole lot of us.
Yeah.
100%, man.
And I'm very happy to do it on your fucking birthday. No, I'm happy to.
Gav, thank you so much.
But we're not gonna just stop there. Kev, can you get the lighter, please?
Ah,
Man.
fuck. Fulfillment.
Yeah, man.
I forgot that what you were doing. I thought you
this
were pulling that
happening,
out to eat it on the plate.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what's going on here, Ronnie? I thought you were
Oh,
chopping
man.
it up and all that.
Can I sing it for you, Ken?
All right. Who's gonna sing it, man?
I'll sing.
In unison.
Wait.
And go. Happy birthday to you.
Come on, guys. Come on, more songs.
Happy birthday
Gav as well, come on.
to you.
Dan Harmony.
In
Happy birthday, dear
Bongo high.
Michael.
Happy birthday
to you. Hey.
Get that sponsorship.
Yo, yeah. Get on this, yeah.
peanut one.
Ah.
That's okay.
I love peanuts.
Yeah, you do.